Brilliant. Welcome, everybody. Let's start and look at the Nasdaq. We've got a very busy couple of weeks ahead of us. We've got Fed rate decision on Wednesday. We've got a lot of earnings kicking off tomorrow. GDP on Thursday. Okay, so this is the Nasdaq. What the Nasdaq does, the rest of the market tends to follow. So if we hold this key support here at 12,200, I can see this edging higher. Obviously, it's with a busy week like this, a lot of volatility ahead of us. We need to get the Fed out of the way. So we're very flat with 3 hours to go in today's market. Not a lot happening. And the same can be said of the Dow. Let's have a look at the German DAX. Now that was better, but again, not brilliant. So ever since we've had this poke higher on the 19th on this one, the dips got bought, but it's unconvincing. We need to get above this 13,250 if we are to achieve anything in this market. And the FTSE actually had a good day. Engulfed the last few days of trading. So if we can stay up here, we could potentially at least get closer to this 7,600. Let's take this one off. So we are sitting up just, but really not going anywhere. And the danger is if we slip underneath this little support, we could fall back to the lows and lower. All right, so see, it's holding up, but just right. Marching on. Sorry, I'm just looking. Let's look at the dollar index, of which the euro is the biggest component. So if this dollar index continues to slacken off, then that gives the US markets a chance. Obviously, we've got Fed on Wednesday, so as we're sitting in all this support on this dollar index, it wouldn't take much to get that back to the highs if that breaks this most recent resistance area. Okay, so the most likely scenario is at the moment that you can assume, safe to assume at the moment, that the markets will push that dollar back up, which would potentially squeeze the US markets. Okay, and let's go across to the gold. Good couple of days back end second half last week, but we could so easily just come right back down to this 1670 down here. The highs are still selling, and this is a buy signal down here on the Thursday the 21st. We've had buy signals here before. Let me show you. So we had a new little run in this range, close higher, petered out very quickly. What else do we have? This is the most recent buy signal. Buy signal here, that lasted a couple of days until we rolled over. So this gold could so easily just drop out of the picture here, but at the moment it is holding up. Volumes have started to improve, so that is something, but the jury is definitely out, and very much so until we wait for Fed. Silver, not faring any better. In fact, worse, if anything, because there's no decent buy pattern down there. It's a bearish pattern where the highs are still selling. Now I'm long a couple of miners, UK and US, but all the time these metals are not holding up. It spells danger. Oil, sitting on an awful lot of support here, but at the moment going nowhere. Again, the markets are really just sidelined until we get this Fed out of the way. If we break this support, then we are potentially going to come down to 87.85. I think that's most likely. It's typically this time of year that this oil would fall off. The US dry season is well and truly underway, for which all those main contracts are in place. So this is typically when you'd expect oil to fall back, as you would natural gas. But for obvious reasons, these dips are getting bought. So that looked pretty weak down there at 53.80, but that's the breakup area from March, and we are marching back up to those highs. And that's what I'm expecting of the wheat. This is a breakout area from February, so I'm expecting the wheat to pick up here. And so if we can start to close above $8 here, I'd expect that to march back. Same with corn. Corn is a new low in this range, so all that's got to do is close above or stay here at $5.80, and then that is an official reversal signal in my book. So I like these grains a lot. You can trade them in ETFs. You could trade them in the futures market, options. There are various ways in which you can do it. You can buy CFDs in these, etc., etc. Right, if we cut across to, let's have a look at high-grade copper. Grinding higher, not marching higher. Right, let's go straight to stocks. Let's look at miners first. I'm in this Pan-African. It is holding on, not much more. We've got all that support underneath us. So we do need to start to pick up. I'm slightly underwater here. If we break that low, then we're potentially coming down to 14. If we can close above 20, we could go back to the highs at least. Obviously, I think that can go higher, otherwise I won't be in it. Hochschild. If we break this November 21st low, then this is very unhealthy, and we could start to head for who knows, 50 less, could be. Right, let's cut across to Sylvania. So some of the other miners, these guys are involved in platinum and so on. So these are picking up. So we've got a decent pullback here on the 5th of July, and these are potentially running higher. Sentiment, not bad. That's better than Pan-African at the moment. So if you want to get involved in a miner, then this, something like Sentiment, is potentially better at the moment. Cutting across to, let's look at oil stocks. Let's look at BP, because we were talking about this in the chat room last week. So at the moment, the 360, 359, 360 is holding up. I was hoping for deeper pullbacks. So, so I was looking for that to come into at least 350. At the moment, this looks higher. But yeah, I'm in danger of missing out. But I'm going to sit back and just hope that rolls over. Hello. So that pushing to 40, seeing I go to 47, that is an impressive pickup. So the potential buy signal down there on the 7th after that touch of 40. So I think you're going to potentially have to buy high on this, potentially getting at 44, 45 with a stop on the 42. Or if you want to stay out of trouble, you need to stop under 39. But that is really beginning to perk up. I'm not going to chase the market, but I've got a feeling if you don't buy that on a pullback in the next day or two, that could keep going. And significant, this square, this is Andy's square, still punching higher. That was a lovely move. I'm not in this. 236 to 375. And the volumes are not that healthy to me. But the market doesn't care. This oil services, I think this Petrofac is picking up. This is a good way of trading oil, getting in on oil services, because if that holds this 305, 307 and closes above 110, I think that can still potentially go right back up to those highs. Over time, I'm not suggesting it's going to pop higher quickly. I just think that will grind higher if we can start to pick up. Anything you want me to look at punching the chat room now? Otherwise, I'll keep going. Let's look at retail, because retail has had a lift recently. Card factory, I'm still waiting to short. So I'm happy for that to pick up, at least in the 65-70 area. Shoe zone, I'm actually triggered short. I've just lost it. What have I done with it? Oh, there it is. So I'm short shoe zone at 185 with a stop above this 195. So I now need this to close back under 175. Why am I short this? Because I think it's a sector I like shorting, basically. I think it's a weak stock in a weak sector. Simple as that. So that's, you can see why I want my stop above 190, because that's the July 19 highs. So plenty of time to get in this if you feel that that has a potential to go short. There's no sell signals up here. It's a note. There's very low volume, which goes in my favor, but there's no lower close. So if you want a safer confirmation, you need to sit tight. Yeah, UK banks, just coming on to that, definitely. But things like ASOS have had a lift, and even Boo has picked up off this 53. That's close to 70. So, you know, there is some lift in these markets for sure. EasyJet looks lower at the moment. TUI. Okay, I'm not investing in these stocks. IAG, British Airways, just about clinging on. So let's look at the Sainsbury's and Tesco's of this world. Getting a push up from 200 to 222. Now, Haleon, I was looking at that Haleon. That's an offspring of GSK, is it? I picked up on that. Didn't pick up on the fact it was linked to GSK. Right. Okay. Let's look at banks. So I'm in Barclays, and that is picking up. So if we can get through that resistance, we could potentially get back to 2022 highs. I think the prospect is good. The volumes are holding up. So I think this is buyable. 150, 145, 150 is buyable. The stop underneath these lows. Obviously, there's a lot of volatility, much more volatility to come. So tread carefully. Lloyd's, sitting up. If that closes above 45, that could grind higher to 50 plus. Sabre took a big hit, didn't it? Whoa. Wow. 222 down to what a great short. So just watch out for if you get a series of lower highs, lower volume, and a breakdown like that, get short and stay short. So that's what I'm looking for in things like Shoe Zone and the other one, Card Factory. Right, let's look at IT. We've got things like IQE holding up. SSE, I haven't looked at that one. This is an innovation company and not doing it. The so-called growth innovative stocks are not flavor of the month. Money Supermarket. Wow. I had no idea that's taken off. 168 to 225. Wow. I caught napping on that one. That is a really nice chart. If that's earnings or what? Computer Center. No. So digital. Yeah, so 102 to 125. So, yeah, there is some life in this market. Right. And other sectors. Let's have a quick look at housing. Persimmon trying to recover. Barrett Developments has done some recovery already, and Taylor Woodrow. So very similar patterns. Okay, so there's definitely some life in this market. Right, let's look at your Glaxo. Let me cut across to my healthcare list anyway. GSK. Did that really, what has happened there? Did that really go down to 1400 back? That doesn't seem right. That's that. That looks like an error on the chart. It is holding up anyway. Bristol Myers got results this week. I'm going to be watching this very carefully. I've been in and out of this a few times, but I think that is a good stock. AstraZeneca. I don't know why I've not got Pfizer on my list. Why have I not got Pfizer on my list? I'm not in Pfizer at the moment, but that is really perking up as well. I think that Pfizer is a buy. Right, let's look at this Helion. Right, I've only got 5 days of data on, is that right? Oh, I see. Right, yeah, okay. Wow, very difficult to trade stocks with so little history on them. So I would have thought that might come down to 295, might. Very speculative to getting involved in that at that stage. I think this is Medtronic, isn't it? I really do like this stock. That move off 87.5 looks good to me. Volumes are beginning to perk up. I think we've got a gap up there at 112. I am going to get into Medtronic this week. EVH, can't remember what's EVH, can't remember. Should know that. Right, what else did you want to look at? Anything? Services. Nope, got nothing on there. Defense. British Aerospace has been on a great run. Been on a really good run. I wouldn't chase that. You might see 730 if you wait on that one. Chemring has been in and out of the news. That's picked up significantly. BME. Oh, you talking about your lovely this one, B&M. This one you're referring to? 355. Well, it dipped into 338, 340. That's been on a decent run, hasn't it? That's quite a drop. 630 to 337. But a decent pullback. So he's not recovered back to this main drop zone of 443. Anything else you want me to look at? I'm going to look at look at some of the US stocks here. So Facebook, wow, that makes me uneasy to see Facebook down at these lows. Wow, if Facebook can't do it, then who can? Okay. And Amazon. Amazon looks lower at the moment. Let's look at something like Microsoft. Holding up. Twilio. Ooh. Not impressed. US stocks, Gilead. Slow start. Yeah, see, these so-called growth stocks are still struggling. Roku. Wow. Baba. DKNG. The appetite for risk is not great. Booking.com, right. DKNG. Very scrappy chart. So we had a gap here in November 2020. That got filled March this year. Volumes are not great, but have been improving. Let me just look this one up a second. Just want to find out what the take is on this. have a look at their financials. Market cap of 73 billion. $2.5 billion profit. Profit margin is healthy. Not bad. Not bad. Are you in this or just looking at it? You're in it. Okay, well, it's holding up. And if we get above this 194,200, then I think that can do something. So we got a gap fill at 212 and another gap fill at 227. Very gappy chart, isn't it? Very gappy stock. All right, well, it looks all right. But it's a precarious stock with that gap. It loves to gap. Right, unless there's anything else, I'm going to leave it there. PFE I looked at, didn't I? Yeah, I like these things like PFE and Medtronic, the healthcare sector. The banks are definitely perking up. Even retail's perked up. So it's all okay up there. Right, thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to just go and grab a meal now and watch the debate tonight. Fine, I'll be here next Monday and I will be updating you during the week. Thanks very much, guys. Bye.